Good evening and welcome to Ask the Unicorn, also known as the Way of the Unicorn. I'm Ahurazi Deliza. This is Kazi.
Hello.
And go ahead and tell them the rest.
Today is August 13th and it is episode 45.
Yep, episode 45. Before all of you panic, my braids will be back in probably tomorrow. My hair is under this, but every once in a while you got to take the braids down and then redo them so that I don't wind up looking like some Rastafarian that didn't comb their hair. Anyway, glad to see you all tonight. I'm hoping to have a good show. I hope you all come up with some good questions. Remember, I will answer any type of questions as long as they are pertaining to the metaphysical, the spiritual, the paranormal, and the mystical. If you are having problems as to how to fix your bathtub and things like that, I'm not your guy. You know, this has to do with those subjects that I've named. There are two types of questions that I do not answer. However, one of them was whether or not someone is going to die and whether or not someone is cheating on someone. So, I know that lots of people think of very clever ways to try to get around my not answering these questions, but you will not. Just to let you know. I do not answer those questions under any circumstances. However, everything else is fair game. Now, I'm sure that you all are enjoying our wonderful weather if you live in Maine or in the northeast. And if you are, just batten down the hatches. It'll be a little windy, but it'll be okay. All right. Now, before we get go on to the question part, there are a lot of women that participated in filming a scene of the Gaia chant, and I want to say thank you to you all. This last weekend was awesome. Got some really good footage, and I just finished the song, the Gaia chant, the remake of the Gaia chant song, and you'll all be hearing it very, very shortly. Not tonight, but I mean soon, and I'm sure you'll all enjoy it. Now, do we have any questions this evening?
We have 3. They are being typed out.
Already? They're being typed out.
She is typing them up.
Okay. We have experienced some technical difficulties, so we had to kind of switch our computer arrangement around. But I think it's going to work out just fine. Remember, if you have any questions, you can always go to our chat room and type your questions up, or you can give us a call at area code 207-347-5686. Once again, that's area code 207-347-5686.
We have our first question.
Okay.
It is from Debbie Emmons. She says, we're having mechanical issues a lot as of late. I've always jokingly blamed the moon phases for such things, but I am starting to wonder if we're in a cycle that might cause everything mechanical to break down. Are we just being really unlucky with our purchases, or might there really be a moon phase helping things to malfunction?
No, the moon doesn't have much to do with that at all. However, you can wind up with faulty equipment, or Mercury could play, not the moon, but Mercury has an effect on things of a mechanical nature, especially when it comes to things that have to do with communication or telecommunication. If you're experiencing difficulties with your appliances working correctly or your machines working correctly, more than likely you can blame Mercury for that.
Mercury is not currently.
No, usually it happens, things that you have to get from one place to another, in transportation, telecommunication, and things of that nature. Mercury just kind of gets in the way most of the time. But when Mercury is going retrograde, it really has a profound effect, especially if you were doing things like waiting for a paycheck or waiting for an important message. Sometimes things will get delayed. You might also look to see what it is that you have in Capricorn as well, because Capricorn does have to do with machinations and mechanics. You know, check your, if you're born around the time that I am, your Saturn and your Jupiter would play a major part in how you do things when it comes to Capricorn. I, however, don't experience much in the way of appliances or electrical things at all, you know, and both my both my Saturn and Jupiter are both in Capricorn, you know, right at the mental decan and the spiritual decan. So you might check those things. Also check to see where you get things and make sure that they're working in the first place. Okay? Check your connections. Remember, we always have to consider every single thing that has to do with the physical before we jump up into the metaphysical. I hope that helps you. What else have you got?
Next question comes from Merly. Merly Sublim. He says,
Hi, Merly.
lately I've been feeling a warm and soothing energy around me when praying. It's most noticeable around the top part of my forehead, my left arm, and my heart area. I would describe it as a warmth of big hands hovering over you but not actually touching you. What could it be? Oh, and also my pilgrimage is nearing its end. It's been beyond amazing. Thanks for everything.
Good. That presence is probably you feeling your own spirit, and maybe your own spirit in relationship to the Great Spirit. Okay, and it's a really simple answer, but it means a lot. It means that you're having a communion. That's usually that communion feeling with yourself and with all people and with the higher spirit or the greater spirit. So good, and I'm glad your pilgrimage is going really, really well. I figured it would be. So let me know everything that happened to you when you get back.
He also has another question.
Sure.
He says, you have mentioned soul traveling a few times. I wonder if you can explain what it is, what it's used for, and how it can help us.
Well, what a soul travel is kind of like a guided meditation on steroids. And basically, you would need someone that is going to be there to guide you, to make sure that you're okay, and so that you don't leave your body or things like that. I know there are a lot of people that mistake soul travel with astral travel, and they're not the same things at all. Astral travel is when your consciousness actually leaves your body. Soul travel, you stay fully conscious. You just go on this journey, and that journey always has a reason. There's something that is there for you to either retrieve, something there for you to fix, something to correct, something to fulfill. And there's always a message that comes back with you. The journey can be a long time or a short time, but the intensity is always the same. So when I take people on a soul travel, I have them concentrate on the tone of my voice, which is another form, which is called tone travel. But also the journey that I take them on always has something that they will find, and then they will bring back with them that will help them along their journey. Now, true, you can do recorded versions of these. A soul travel speaks directly to the person now. There are those kinds of guided meditations that you listen to that are pretty generalized. But when you're dealing with a soul travel, you get to kind of be specific with each person, even if you're doing a group. Depending upon the perspective of the person, you can appeal to them. And because you're the one that's presenting the journey, then they'll go where you tell them to go. Now, that doesn't mean that they have to wait for you to say something in order for them to be or act or react in a certain circumstance. No. The soul travel is to get them in the room and open the door and get them in the room. If there are things that are within the room that are directed to the person's attention, then they can proceed to deal with those things the way that they consciously do, or how you consciously do. And then hopefully you gain something out of those things that may be in the room that the soul traveler has brought you to. Now, you have to enter in the exact same ways that you go into the soul travel realm. That's really, really important. So you can go ahead and explore and do all of those things, but when the person facilitating the soul travel says it's time to go, then it's time to go. And then hopefully you've gained some awareness, you've gained some even new gift, you've gained a message, you've gained something. A soul travel is not one of those things that you just do because, it might be fun. I think it would really be cool to do a soul travel. No, usually when a person is ready for a soul travel is because they're seeking something that they can't necessarily find here in the physical realm, and even by thinking about it so often, they can't really retrieve those answers. But when you're dealing with the soul travel or the soul realm, you understand your relationship with all things, and that every single answer, every single thing that there is in that soul realm, and you get to be taken in, explore, and then taken back out again for brief moments, and it does definitely help you. So I do them. There are other people that know what they are that can do them. There are different types of soul travel. It depends on what it is that you need. One of the soul travels is just for meditation, to get you into deeper and higher states of meditation. Others are there to accomplish something. There's those that you have to go back and rescue yourself from a traumatic point in your life. That is actually called a retrieval, where you have to go back and pick up certain things that you have left, or put back those things that may have been taken from you, or correct something that you think has been done to you or that you've done to someone else. That's a retrieval. There's also a regression, where you can actually go back and discover what may have happened to you in another time, in another space. There are different types. And those people that do astral travel are really kind of like pointing a gun to their head and pulling the trigger. You don't want to mess with the astral realm. That is not a realm that we are supposed to be in. And I don't care who comes and tells you. I don't care who told you that, oh no, I heard it's a positive experience. No. That's a trick. Okay? It's a trick to get you out in those areas that you can't survive in. Wasting your time and vital energy by leaving your body. That's like the dumbest thing that you can do. Then you'll wind up attracting all kinds of astral entities that try to inhabit your body. Not true, they can't inhabit your body forever. Not unless they have a certain amount of power. But they can inhabit it from time to time. Or maybe they can have you make a bargain with them so that they can coexist with you. Not a good idea. Great. I don't care what kind of movies you've seen. It's still not a great idea. There is no mask that you put on that you go and communicate with anyone. Okay.
Sorry, like what?
Whatever. The bottom line is this: you stay in your body. Okay. If you need for your consciousness to go to a place where you can see things, believe me, it's more than possible. I mean, it happens all the time, and you can master that technique while remaining in your body. Remember, it's not a good idea to leave your body. That's like leaving your car running and leaving the door wide open and going someplace. That's just dumb. So for all of you people out there that are deluding yourself with astral travel, you really should stop. Okay? You can lose a lot of vital essence. It also spreads your whole molecular structure. It spreads your whole body structure. You can waste a lot of strength, and it can cause a debilitation. That's just on the physical level. On the mental level, you will lose your grounding, and then you suffer something that my teacher used to refer to as space neuroses, where you have lost your grounding. And when you lose your grounding, you come off as though you have lost your mind. And that's just the truth. So remember, at all points in time, don't let someone take you out of your consciousness, nor do you give up your consciousness. Okay? If you need to use that consciousness to go on a soul travel, or retrieval, or a regression, or something of the like, fine. Just remember, you need to stay in your body. Okay? So, I hope I've helped you in some way. What's next?
Seth says hi.
Hey Seth, what's up, man?
And
Looking forward to this Sunday.
And they have what was it? Zombie laser tag.
Yeah, I know, on Saturday. That reminds me, I might as well do this. There's an event that will be a fundraiser, I think a fundraiser and a promotional for one of the films that I'm in that is called Frostbite. And it is directed by Seth Roberts and produced by Alan Dillingham. And it's got a great cast and a great crew of people. And what they're doing is they're having an event this Saturday. Is it this Saturday?
Yep.
It is this Saturday. This Saturday, and it's a zombie laser tag.
Frostbite
Fundraiser. And where is it?
It is going to be from 11 to 3 at the Saco Drive-In Theater in Saco.
I suggest you go.
Sounds like fun.
I really suggest you go. Yeah, I'm going to be there. Just to let you know.
Oh,
Yes.
cool.
Because I'm part of the cast.
I know, I'm looking at their flyer. Does that mean are they real zombies? I'm just messing around with you guys.
But it's going to be fun. It's been a long time since I played laser tag. Really long time.
I've never played. Is it outdoors or indoors?
It's probably outdoors.
Outdoors?
Yeah.
You get like the vest thingy?
I'm not sure.
And
I think so. That's laser tag,
pew,
right?
pew, pew, pew,
See, I'll just put duct tape
pew,
on
pew,
mine,
pew,
and
pew,
then
pew, pew.
you won't know whether or not they hit me.
I'll freak out and play Star Wars. Pretend like I'm Lando Calrissian and Han Solo. I'll pretend like I'm a man. I'm just joking.
That didn't even make any sense.
I know it didn't. Okay, I'll pretend like I'm Princess Leia.
I used to be able to pretend I was Lando.
Because you look like him. You're a guy and you look like him.
Well, I
And you're
did.
dark.
So anyway, I hope you all show up. This will be a wonderful fundraiser, and it is, again, put it back. It is, again, what is with you?
Frostbite
Just put it back.
fundraiser.
It is the Frostbite
That's not it.
fundraiser,
That's not it. That's wrong.
and it's at the
Saco
Saco Drive-In.
Drive-In. This Saturday from 11 to 3.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you all come. Now remember, this is to help fund the film Frostbite. So if you happen to see Seth or Alan, you can also walk up to them and say, hey, I would like to make a donation towards the funding of the film Frostbite. I'm sure that they would really appreciate it. Okay? And the film is going to be awesome. And it's one of many films that they have produced and directed and are in the process of directing. And like myself, they're independent filmmakers that are trying to get you all, the public, wonderful entertainment. We work very, very hard. My film is Valkyr, and it is about 4 women that are taken from different time periods by the gods and given the opportunity to become Valkyrie. Seth's movie, Frostbite, is about an ancient curse that is released, causing an infection that transforms everyone into monsters.
Cool. Seth says, I might be a zombie.
Uh-oh. Seth is going to be a zombie. You know, that's great. To me, I always have to be on the other side. If it was like a monster, though, I wouldn't mind being a monster, because I'm a monster, but I'm not a zombie. You know. And if Seth is a zombie, and you people that are going to go to be, I don't mean you people, I mean you people, that are going to go to be the other side, you better watch out for Seth. I'm just telling you. Okay.
Alright, we have a few more questions.
What do we got?
Holly has a question.
Hi, Holly. How are
Today is
you?
Holly's birthday.
Happy birthday, Holly! Yay! Woo!
She says, my question for the night is, I see hearts everywhere I go through rocks, flowers, etc. What does seeing hearts mean since childhood?
That's just you, Holly. I mean, your energy is you love and accept everybody. So you're always going to see that. And it's pretty cool that you still hold on to that energy even into your adulthood. For those of you that don't know Holly, she's always a very positive person. Very positive and very sweet, you know. And she's willing to try anything. And I don't know if you'll get to see her on film when you get to see Valkyr. I think she's in her 30s, but she comes off like a little girl. She looks like a little girl on film, which is really funny. She is learning about film, and I think it's really, really cool. The footage that we got of her, you'll be able to see her kind of transform into this little girl, especially when she's trying not to look at the camera. It's really funny. No, just follow her motion. Don't look at the camera, okay?
That was awesome. Holly's funny though.
Yeah, Holly's very, very funny. And you know something else? She's a great cook.
Yep.
And what?
She's a really good coupon shopper. She's the type of person that scores a bunch of stuff with coupons and then gives it away to homeless shelters.
Yeah, that's
called
and that's why you see hearts all over the place, because you go around just exuding love. You know, but that's why. That's your energy. That's what you have to offer this world. And you know what? If anybody ever tries to tell you to change, I tell them to go take a long walk off of a short pier, because you're perfect just the way that you are.
And her mom's got great stories.
Yeah, her mom is awesome. You know, another thing is that Holly's also an empath, and she's a very sensitive empath, and her and her mother can see spirits and talk to them.
Yep.
You know, so as I said, you're wonderful the way you are. Don't ever let anybody tell you that there's something wrong with you. The only thing that might be wrong with you is that you tolerate people talking about you badly too long. Okay? So if they can't find something positive to say about you, you really don't need to be around them. And that is anybody that decides to say bad things to you all the time. You know? And if those people that have said things to you like that are watching this show, yes, I do mean you. Okay? All right. So that's why. That's just your energy. That is what you exude all over the place. So of course you're going to see that.
She says she loves your hat.
Thank you. I love my hat too, especially since underneath it I look like a troll doll.
Whatever. Alright. Seth says we're very soon releasing a short film about domestic violence called Always Sorry. It is incredibly emotional and direct. Yeah.
A short film called Always Sorry, and that has to do with domestic violence. That's a really touchy subject, because contrary to popular belief, domestic violence doesn't necessarily have a gender. It goes both ways. And if there are children involved, they're the ones who suffer the most. And look forward to seeing that. Mm-hmm. You know, but like I said, you all need to get out and help your independent filmmakers. We're trying desperately to give you something new and exciting and something actually thoughtful, you know, so that you're not seeing the same old movies over and over and over again. So those of you that can, please come to the fundraiser. I'll be there, other cast members will be there, the directors will be there, the crew will be there, and hopefully their families. And it should be a wonderful time.
I guess I'll be there too.
Maybe.
I don't know, you said and family.
Yeah.
Cast and family.
Yeah, I did.
And family.
I know that.
Holly says thank you, and she says love you all.
You too.
Maven says she wants to see me with the muffin braids on my ears.
Muffin braids?
Princess Leia. That's kind of creepy. I don't think I could pull it off.
Oh yeah, because I got my Star Wars thing here.
Where do you have...
No, the battery's on.
No! It's awesome.
Yes.
No.
I got this using a Jedi mind trick.
It was phenomenal. We have a few more questions, but if you'd like to share that story,
no.
That'd be awesome.
What do you got?
Okay. Rebecca Kessler says, my deceased mother's birthday is tomorrow. My dad and I have had 2 owl sightings within a week of one another, both being very close. Owls remind me of her, and I think she's saying hi and just sharing.
Say hi back.
Michelle Ayotte says,
hi, Michelle.
She says, hello there. A couple years ago this happened. My cell phone rang and it was from a friend. However, I wasn't quick enough to answer it. They left a message and it was a sound coming through from my own house. Crazy.
Okay.
Oh, maybe she...
Read that again.
She said, a couple years ago, this happened a couple of years ago. My cell phone rang and it was from a friend. However, I wasn't quick enough to answer it. They left the message, and in the message it was the sounds coming from my own home.
Is that a fact? Well, that's interesting.
Do maybe she has 2 lines on her cell phone?
That could be. No, not likely. Someone else, or it's a cell phone. If it was a landline, that might happen.
People have 2 lines on cell phones.
Yeah, but I doubt that 2 people have the same exact cell phone number in the same house, that the sounds would actually be there. It may, that's an interesting occurrence there. The only other thing that I can think, well, maybe they were in your house when they called you, or near you, no, that doesn't make any sense either. Strange juxtaposition. Maybe that had to do with something dimensional. I'd like to know if you still have the message on your cell phone.
It'd be interesting to hear.
Yeah, it would be interesting to hear.
Seth says, Kazi will be the first one I bite. Ha 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 ha! Yeah, right.
Yeah, can't catch her.
No. I'm pretty quick. I laugh. Ha 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 ha. You can try. That is it for questions.
Is that it?
Yeah.
For question? Wow.
For now, yep.
Well, if you have any questions, you can always ask them. You can give us a call, or you can ask in the chat room. I'll answer any type of question, and that has to do with the paranormal, metaphysical, spiritual, and the mystical. And while I'm what?
Oh, I was going to give them the phone number.
Go ahead.
Give us a call at 207-347-5686.
So I don't have any movies that we went to see this week because we've been kind of busy. I've been filming my own movie, and now with what they've done with the chemtrailing and everything, the geoengineering that they claim that they're not really doing, the weather's been rather unstable. As today we got this, the weather actually was kind of interesting today. Windy, then not windy, then windy again, windy and rainy, and then not windy and rainy. But so far so good. Nobody's reported anything really bad that happens to be about the weather. But if I do happen to see any good movies, I will let you know. Unfortunately, some of the movies that have come out have not been the best, nor have they been interesting in any way, shape, or form. I'm sure that a lot of you run out and go see Lucy.
No, Guardian of the Galaxies is
No. I know that. I'm saying, oh yeah, we haven't seen it, so how can I report it? So a lot of you have gone to see Lucy, and I've gotten some real feedback about that. Evidently, it's just like a rotten example of Hunger Games, only with what's her face, that lady that has not one superhero-looking bone in her body.
Oh, I heard Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was all about Megan Fox, and she had this much time on the screen, and the Turtles had
Yeah, that's kind of like Godzilla. That movie Godzilla wasn't the main focus. I mean, the other monsters were. They appeared all throughout the movie, and then you get to see Godzilla a little bit. A little bit. We are going to at some point in time see Guardians of the Galaxy, because I'd be willing to report to you all on that one.
Or has anybody out there seen it? Anybody would like to let us know what it was like?
You can't ask people that.
What?
What's wrong with you?
I want to know some reviews.
Excuse me, those are called spoilers.
Just if it was good, if it was, totally awesome.
Well, it's got Batista in it. Can't be too bad.
Batista.
Oh, knock it off. Don't act like that.
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Trying to add some humor.
That's not humor. That's just you being gross.
What?
Yeah, I know exactly what you think of
Meryl
Batista.
Streep.
Yeah, Meryl Streep is hot. So is Mary Steenburgen.
Mary Steenburgen.
Yeah. And then again, so is Jessica Alba.
Okay, now who's being gross?
I'm not gross. I'm not like you.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, it's Paco.
That's it. Put him on speakerphone.
Here.
I'm going to put you on hold so you can get
We
you
got it.
Okay.
Hey Seth, how you doing?
Hello?
Hi,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad.
Good, good. You have to turn your sound down.
Yeah, let me turn it right now. Hold on.
Okay,
There we go.
cool. So are you looking forward?
Okay?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So are you looking forward to the event this Saturday?
I'm looking forward to the event this Saturday. The reason I am calling is I wanted to give you a shout out and let everybody know that as much as you're passionate about movies and you're passionate about everything that you do and how helpful you are to people, that I want people to understand how amazingly professional and helpful you are on set and what a genuine talent it is to have you. And I am sincerely looking forward to working with you again for the next 3 days, sort of Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And then wanting to see some of the film you're working on there. I get jealous seeing all those amazing pictures and not being on set. So,
Well, you're welcome to drop by.
Yep.
You're
I
welcome.
would love to take a trip down there and see what's going on, because I'll tell you, those sets look amazing, and those costumes.
Well, thank you. We do our best. You're welcome to come down.
I would love to. We're filming this weekend, but hopefully next time you're filming, I'll be able to take a trip down there and check it out. I'm always interested in seeing the creative processes of other people, and
Awesome.
you can always learn from everyone as long as you keep yourself humble and watch. And you've always been a great help on set, an amazing professional, amazing talent.
Well, thank
very
you.
Good actor, and I look forward to working with you on many more projects to come.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, man. It's a pleasure working with you. I've learned some things by working on your set. I'm always willing to learn how people do things because it'll help me improve, and it has helped me improve, and my techniques. And I did discover a couple of things. We have a very small crew. But
5 people.
But
at the most.
I really like the professionalism in which you do things, and the people that are in the movie Frostbite are all awesome people. I've had the pleasure of having Natalie Young be a part of Valkyrie as well, and she's just awesome. She's just awesome, And it's really cool. If we network with each other, we actually get other people to know who we are. Because, I have a few of the actresses that were involved in Essential Realism and that are also were in Frostbite, like Sandra Bullion. And she makes an awesome Artemis. Just
Yeah.
awesome.
Sandra's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Another amazing talent, along with Natalie, and they're amazing to have on set.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Michelle.
And Michelle Saint Germain Moore. Anytime you want to come down, I might put you to work though.
You might find yourself.
Hey, I'll be working there, man. I would just love to see it, and maybe I can teach Kathy how to run a slate.
Yeah, actually,
Are
she
you
does know
teasing
how.
me?
No, she actually
Did you
does know
tell
how.
her?
Yeah, she knows how to run the slate. She is
but
me.
But half the time, Kazi's busy running around doing other things like costume, makeup, set,
Yeah.
props.
Hmm.
So she doesn't have time to do the
The
slate.
slate. But we love the slate that you gave to us. Which is awesome. Really, really awesome. Now I just got to find a person to be willing
Just
to
one
do the slate.
person. Your job is the
Right.
slate, and that's it.
Yeah,
I promise I won't call you
But,
for help.
Yeah, anytime you have some free time and we're filming, come on down. Although I have to warn you, I do have a habit of saying, hey, that person, he might be willing to do this.
She might be good as this person in the movie.
Oh, good, man. You're a threat. I just want to see the amazing work that you're doing, and I just, I'm very, very happy to have met you, very happy to work with you. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I know this is for people who are asking questions about the metaphysical, so I don't want to take away from that. But I just want to give you a shout out.
Well, thank
I
you.
want everyone to know you are a pleasure to work with, and I'm looking forward to doing it again.
That's awesome. Me too, man. We need to get together and actually work on something together.
You got it, brother.
We'd be dynamite.
I will talk to you later.
All right, bro. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
That was Seth Roberts. Now, we know him as Paco, but there are a lot of people that just can't pronounce the word Paco or the name Paco. It's real simple, Paco, but it gets butchered a lot, so he just tells people to say Seth.
Go on.
And, so it's kind of like when I tell people my name Uhura, or my middle name, which is Zakor, and they butcher it, so I just say, look, just call me Z, okay? So I'm looking forward to that event on Saturday. Thanks for calling in, Seth. We really appreciate it. And for all of you that are independent filmmakers, if you give us a call, and we'd be more than willing to help you, promote your talent, promote what it is that you are doing. Independent filmmakers, I think, are the hope of the movie industry, especially when it comes to the East Coast. I'm not looking to be like Hollywood. Hollywood is corrupt. I don't want much to do with that. And I don't want to be Hollywood East either. I want us all to have something, for all of us to be able to express what it is that we have. True, we did have a chance with the main studios, but you know what? If I got that kind of deal, I would make sure that it worked. There's so many wonderful filmmakers and cast and crew that are just willing to dive right in and do what needs to be done. Because most of us, we don't get paid to do this. We don't get paid to be in each other's movies most of the time, But we do it because we really love the art, So, maybe someone out there that may be listening that is one of those that gives like millions and millions of dollars to the Libra Foundation or whatever. Why don't you try giving it to us independent filmmakers and let us do it? Because we can do it with a fraction of what Hollywood gets and do a better job. All right. So on with some questions here.
All right, we have a few more questions.
What do you got?
Let's see. Michelle Ayot says, my phone was in my purse and it was very late. I freaked out and I erased it.
Oh,
That's
darn. Yeah. Well, you're getting better with that. I understand, but I know that you're also getting better. So if something like that happens again, remember, don't freak out. Save it. You have someone that can actually explain things to you now. So,
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, she's gotten much better, actually. All right, what else have you got?
Maven says, unfortunately, I saw Divergent and I just kept waiting for it to get better.
I told you, though. There's a rash of those kind of movies, but they're all pretty much the same movie.
That was the Hunger Games.
Yeah, the Hunger Games, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah. Alright, moving on, we have
Practical, Tragic, Magic.
a lot more questions. Elise Lambert asks, will you explain about time travel? How is that possible? Woo! That's a special.
That's a huge explanation and
special episode.
Yeah, that's a whole episode. If people want to learn about time travel, that's very, very involved. Just let it suffice to say that it can happen. And it can. And it's not only possible, it's probable and plausible. And I'd be more than willing at another date to give a full explanation of time travel, understanding that time and space is something that actually nails us to a certain period. If you can transcend time and space, or you can operate in the now can actually retract and expand. See, this is the thing about the third dimensional reality. You will not break the laws of a third dimensional reality. However, you can bend them to enormous proportions, depending on where it is that you are and how it is that you do it and how much energy you have at your disposal. Remember, people that were seated in things such as the martial arts actually have an ability to bend those rules when it comes to movement speed, when it comes to displacement. And those people that have a metaphysical paranormal bent do have the ability to periodically be in more than one place. I myself have a kind of a limited ability to do that. This is how I can read people. See, I'm not only here, but I go to where that person is and read what it is that they're doing or what it is that someone else is doing. It's a long explanation, but just say it this way. Time travel is not as fantastic as you think it is. It's actually very practical. It's actually very, very reasonable, and we all do it from time to time. It's just that we don't know what we're doing when we're doing it. We think that it's something else. But unfortunately, what a lot of people in the scientific community have done is separated conventional science from metaphysics, and you can't do that. You know, you have to take everything into consideration. For instance, you have to take into consideration light, you have to take into consideration sound, velocity, speed, vibrational frequency, mathematics, and all of those wonderful things, and apply them with dynamic and positioning, or logistics, which basically means that you would be using astrology. And if you can actually create something that would be able to move universally as opposed to linearly, then you can more than likely do a form of time travel that would be physical. Whatever you sent would have to come back, though. That's the thing. You know, you can make it as rubbery as you want it to. You can stretch your reality as much as you want to, but eventually it has to come back to its point of origin. This is just the way that it is. Unless there is a hole. And the only way that there could actually be a hole is if you created what would look like a stream and then another stream that caused a juxtaposition. Would have to be the same thing happening at the same time in more than 2 or 3 different dimensions. Now, based upon the fact that we have 7 major energy centers, it would have to take place in at least seven dimensions for another body to be able to slip through that curtain and get to the other side and stay there for a while. That while could be anything from 7 minutes to 7 years or even 7 decades, depending on what the physicality of that person was. Get someone that could stay there for 7 years. Well, we know this, that every 7 years, every molecule in your every cell in your body renews itself over a 7-year period. So if you can stay there for 7 years, based upon this 3rd dimension and us being in the 3rd planet, you could probably do that for 21 years, if you could. But you could be there for 20 or 7 years, or be someplace else for 7 years, and then on this side, it may appear as if only 7 minutes pass by, maybe 7 seconds, or even 7 hours. But eventually, you would have to return to your point of origin. That's just the way that it is. Like I said, it would take a really long explanation that I don't have that much time to do that tonight.
All right. Well, moving on, we have other questions.
Mm-hmm.
Holly says, I hope you all accept me as part of your family. I want you as my big brother.
We already did that.
I know. Silly.
I thought we already did that.
I thought so too.
Yes, we already did that, Holly.
Rebecca Kessler says, I used to see images in the dark as a kid, and I think it's starting again. I don't know if it's real, imagined, or if it's hallucinations from being tired or something. I mostly see shapes like silver parallelogram or diamond floating in the blackness, etc. When I was a kid, these shapes were way more vivid, neon colors and moving around. I also used to get a loud tone in my ear with these, not like ringing in the ears like I get now from hearing damage, but a tone that would change in volume and intensity.
Well, it's like you said, it could be something based upon a physicality, or even in your nerves, your nervous system, or even thought process. You consider all of that. You said that, and the most you can relate is from when you were a child. So what you would have to do is think about what happened between the time that you did see and now. Why was there a gap? Okay, and you've also mentioned that you have hearing damage, and that can cause frequency changes constantly, or other ringing sounds, or things like that. And it can also cause an equilibrium malfunction. Okay, so we want to take all of that into consideration first. Okay, And if you can find all of your answers there, then what we need to do is accept the fact that maybe you are seeing something. And if you are seeing something, be willing to face it so that you can find out the entirety of what it is that you are seeing. At the same time, based upon what you said, I might say that what you were looking at is energy. Because if it didn't really take a form, then it's just something that you were dealing with at the moment. And let me see. It looks like what you were seeing, like in the darkness never was really truly darkness. It was more like a deep, indigo blue something or other, because that's the impression that I'm getting just by looking at you. That blue, darkish kind of a blue, and the sounds that will come along with it, you'll get more of that. The black and white, like it looks like a negative, I guess. So you're going to see a little more of that. But remember, I explained that to you a little while ago, that with the passing of Izon, it's kind of like sprayed super growth food on a lot of people, and people are just waking up. Now we've got to figure out what to do with all of those people that are waking up, okay? And get you all educated. Remember, if you are looking to take classes, I can work out a payment plan for you. Okay, I don't teach for free, but I can work out a payment plan for you. And I've told you a while ago, it's time for you to start training things. Start to train your vision. You've just got to not be afraid of it. And let's get on with what needs to be done. Okay. What else have you got?
I have a few more questions.
Okay.
I'm looking for them. Wait for it. There they are. Okay. This is from Lani.
Hi, Lonnie. How are you?
Or excuse me.
Le.
No, she doesn't get the le.
Yes, she does.
No. This is from Little Star.777. Hi, Ahura. What do you think of all the channeling that is being done in the New Age community? Would it be accurate to say that a channeler only brings through energies that corresponds to their level of energetic/spiritual evolution? And Rebecca adds another question to that one as well.
Okay. Depending upon the level of the channeler, they will be able to channel whatever it is that they needed to. It's kind of like this. A cup will hold anything. Okay? As long as the cup doesn't get destroyed. There are certain people that have the ability to channel things, and that's wonderful. That they can channel it, but most people that haven't received any type of training or any type of development at all don't really know what it is that they're channeling. In fact, they don't even know that they're channeling. So the moment that a person becomes aware that they're actually channeling, that offers a bit of strength to them, that offers a bit of development to them. Then they have to build up their strength. So it's not so much a matter of them being able to channel something that is on their level. They'll channel whatever it is that they're channeling to the degree that they can channel whatever that is. So it can be them channeling anything, but they may only get that much of it because that's all that they can handle. Or they may get a lot of it because that's all that they can handle. Or they can handle a little more. It just depends on what it is that needs to be channeled at that particular moment that finds that energy of a person with the ability to channel. For instance, when something needs to be seen, I get to see it. Period. I can see as much as I can see. There are other people that can see a little more. There are other people that can see a little less. There are other people that can see a lot less or a lot more. But I can at least see what I can see. Okay? I am a telepath. And I am a type of telepath, okay, that can see the way that I see. So they're just different expressions. One is not more or better than the other. They're just different aspects of the same thing. So when you're channeling something, and if you're a channeler, you'll be able to channel whatever, depending upon your expression. And it's up to you to develop yourself so that you can channel more. It's up to all of us to develop ourselves so that we can channel more. Wow. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like a giant spaceship. Anyway, I think that there's always been channeling going on ever since I began my education, which was back in 1980. There were people that were channeling, and channeling a lot, and now they understand what channeling actually is. I don't really look at it as channeling anything. You know, I am an expression, and I express what it is that needs to be expressed when it needs to be expressed. It's like looking at 12 to 15 different screens for me, and I look at these things and say, this needs to happen, that needs to happen, this needs to be said, that needs to be said, this needs to be said, and that needs to be said. So what I think about all of the channeling that's going on, wonderful. The more people that are channeling things, and the more people that are able to see things, as long as they're channeling effectively, because remember, you can channel stuff all day and not be effective. You have to be effective. You know, you have to do some things. There's that old saying, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. So do something physical with what it is that you're seeing, or there has to be some grounding in what it is that you're channeling. If you can do that, you will develop yourself even more, and then you will be more helpful and effective at large. That's just the way that it is. You know, so I hope that helps out. If you have other questions, please.
She says, to elaborate, I suppose I'm wondering about discernment of channeled information and what kinds of energies, light or dark, that could be coming through.
All kinds of energies that could be coming through. Sometimes darkness will masquerade as light. Sometimes light will take a dark path in order to radiate. It just happens that way. You have to be discerning and to understand that there are things that are meant to cause you pitfalls or to fall into a pit all the time. And there are other things that are meant to help you to raise. It's like, you know, what I've always told you. On one side, you've got this energy that is willing to support you and help you to grow at any moment in time, and it will do anything in order to do that. And anything that is going to cause you to have that wonderful growth spurt and to accomplish what it is that you say that you need to accomplish. On the other hand, there's another energy that is against anything and everything that you do just for the sake of defeating you. And it will take any shape in order to defeat you. Any shape. It will do anything to defeat you. You have both of these sides that are with you. It's almost like being in between a rock and a hard place. And the temptation to go to one side or the other is phenomenal. Because on one side you can go into all of the heavenly thought and not believe the fact that evil even exists or that anything can happen to you. But I can tell you for a fact, evil does in fact exist, and it does things all the time. So if you go into that particular realm, jump into the heaven of everything, while you're in this physical form, you're no good to anybody because you're highly ineffective. You won't be able to help anybody because you've got your rosy colored glasses on thinking that everything's all right all the time. And it may be all right all the time, but at least you should have a reality that you did something to cause it to be all right all the time. You know, the fact is that there are things that will push you off on this side. You'll do nothing but sit around and meditate and talk about the giant lotuses that manifest right in front of you, and then you'll come off as simply loony. On the other end, you can go so much into the hell side and think that everything is evil no matter what it is, and you still won't be able to help anybody. You won't be effective to anybody. You won't be able to lift them at all because you'll be too busy groveling in the dirt for something evil. So what you have to do is walk this, what has been known as a razor's edge, which is a thin line straight up the middle. That entails using logic. That entails not just reacting but responding. That entails you really taking everything into consideration and taking the best from all that you see, both good, bad, and the third one, ugly, and coming up with a logical action and an example and thought and solution that is going to benefit you and everybody that is around you. We call that the sense of the common good. In layman's terms, common sense. No matter how intuitive you are, no matter how powerfully psychic or how powerfully telepathic you are, you always need to make the right decision. And being human, we're quite fallible. So you really have to take all of that into consideration and then move forward, ever forward. No, it's not easy. It's never been easy. There's some things that are easy for a lot of people. Like if you have like $40 million, in cash or in the bank, you can do a lot of things a lot easier than someone who doesn't have that. However, when you see people that get dinner, or people that just get dinner, they got enough so that they can buy food for dinner, those are the happiest people on earth. And sometimes those people with $40 million would do anything to know that happiness except for what it took. So, understanding that both good and evil are real and manifesting, you have something to do. You have an obligation to reach your goals to yourself. No matter what it takes, reach your goal.
Okay. I have a lot more questions.
What do you mean, okay? You didn't even understand half of what I said.
Reaching your goals. Reach your goals.
Okay.
Follow your dreams.
All right.
Eat cake.
So, what?
Rebecca says in regards to Lonnie's question about channeling, she has often wondered the same thing. She's often curious as to what or who they are really channeling, and if it applies to everyone or just them.
It applies to everyone. Everyone. Everyone should be careful. Don't just channel stuff just because it needs to be channeled. That's why they've invented Ouija boards, so that you can wind up channeling stuff that you really don't want to channel.
Alright, Holly says, your show is awesome. Jill wants to thank you all. My life has been positive since I'm welcome. Where I'm supposed to be.
Awesome.
Rebecca says, in regards to my earlier question of seeing things, there was a gap in not seeing these things because I purposefully ignored them or turned them off, so to speak. My hearing damage is very minimal, very slight ringing in my right ear when it's dead quiet. My hearing is good otherwise, and I always pass tests.
Okay. So, why did you cut them off? Why did you shut it off? Would be my question to you. What happened to cause you to want to shut it down or to ignore it? That's my real question for you. Why? Why did you do that? What happened? Something to think about.
Alright, Lonnie says, to elaborate, I suppose, I'm wondering about discernment of channeled information and what kinds of energies, light or dark, that could be coming through.
I did just answer
that. Holly asks, sometimes in investigations, some people have been scratched. How can spirits do that, and why? Is it always evil that scratches?
No, not necessarily. There's a lot of different reasons. Sometimes an entity can actually manifest enough energy or draw enough energy from the person that is there to cause a mild injury or even a great injury, or cause events to happen that would cause an injury. Sometimes a scratch is an indication of anger. Other times a scratch could be an indication of fear. It just depends on the dynamic there. For instance, I say that a lot, don't I? For instance.
You say a lot of things. Okay. A lot. Remember.
Yeah.
And listen.
Remember.
And listen.
Yes, I do. And, so, for instance, there was a woman that I spoke to that wound up, getting scratched. And then her youngest child wound up getting scratched as well. So when we went to see her, I had to pull her aside and talk to her. It seems that there was another child that was very, very angry that was attacking her and attacking the other child. We found out later that she had had an abortion, that she had an abortion late. And she's always felt guilty for that. So when she had another child and promised that she would never do that again, the other child was never apologized to. nor regarded in any way, shape, or form. She just kind of covered it up. Well, that child chose to stay there and got very, very angry and was acting out. Once she made her peace with the child, the episode stopped. So understanding that the spiritual does have a great amount of power. You just have to really acknowledge what's going on. So, I'd like to know things. I'd like to sit and ask some questions. Okay. What have we got?
Lonnie says, thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Anytime.
Arlisha Valentine asks, can you speak about the blood moon?
The blood moon.
The blood moon.
Oh, you mean that moon that just passed? The super moon.
She said, can you speak on blood moon?
Once, many, many years ago, when the moon was full and red, it was her. No. Well, I can tell you what this series of moons that is happening causes. It causes heightened states of awareness and also emotionalism. I don't know why they call things a blood moon just because it's red-ish. But, okay, people call it the blood moon, which I think is a little creepy. No, that doesn't mean that, monsters are going to appear. They're already here. Besides, what it does mean is that there's a heightened state of passion and awareness and also creativity that is available when you see that. And it can also contribute to lunacy. When we are in these moon states, what you might want to do is do something constructive. Otherwise, you'll put yourself in a highly emotional state that can cause you to do things that you really don't want to do, and even cause you to say things that you really don't want to say. Okay? So the most I can tell you about is how it affects people and how it can influence a lot of things. It can also influence great masses of people to do certain things, but it can also cause heightened states of paranormality. And we just experienced the second of a series of 3. There's one more that's going to be happening. I prefer supermoon myself. The whole blood thing just kind of creeps me out. But it's a good opportunity for you to really solidify yourself. For those of you that are pagan or Wiccan, you might use the opportunity to gather energy and strength. For those of you that understand the moon phases, you might use it to help increase your intelligence and also increase your awareness. It is a wonderful time for doing so. It's also a wonderful time for reinforcing decisions that you have made. So why they call it the blood moon? Probably because of the paranormal inference. It does create a lot of paranormality. So that's about all I can tell you about it. I don't really pay much attention to lore. I usually deal in reality. And when I hear terms like the blood moon, I see someone that's very old and grizzled telling you a tale of the blood moon. That's just how I think about it. What do you think?
It reminds me of a video game and vampires and me killing vampires.
Yeah. So that's what I can tell you about it. Although it does appear red. It's really quite neat.
Sometimes it's orange.
Well, yeah, red, orange. It's really quite neat. So that's what I can tell you. I can tell you about the effects of it. It also would affect storms and water currents as well. Make them a little higher, a little more wild. Pay attention to your dreams. Yeah, this last one was beautiful.
I didn't see it.
It was gorgeous.
Wait.
Yeah, you did.
No.
Saturday night.
I was in my room Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's recovering.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope I've helped you.
Rebecca says, fear of dealing with it it being the things that she is seeing, I guess I would have to call you sometime to elaborate on it all.
Certainly.
Holly says, I love that. I actually love vampires. She laughs.
No, you don't.
You shouldn't. Vampires are
You
bad.
don't. I have news for you. They really do exist. And no, they don't bite your neck and draw blood. Those are cannibals. That's a totally different thing. A vampire is a hideous creature. Really. And they don't draw your blood. They draw your energy. You know, and if you really actually met one, you would not have said that. You like the sparkly vampire, the Hollywood vampire. But those of us that have seen real vampires and had to deal with them don't think that they're very cool at all. There are a lot of people who believe they're vampires and they're seriously deluding themselves. And they get mad at you if you tell them, you're not a vampire, you're vampire food.
Holly says, I had a dream of you and there was a bear offering me water. What does that mean?
That means I'm offering you the opportunity to become family. So that you can work on that healing gift that you have.
If the beaver offers you the fish, you take the fish.
Bear?
If the bear offers you the fish, you take the fish.
It was water.
Whatever, I'm not doing it again. Nice try. That's all we got.
Is that all we got?
That's
What time
all
is
we
it?
got. It's 9:08.
Well, it's about that time. This has been actually a lot of fun. Like I said, there's an event that is happening this Saturday. You might check it out at the Casco Drive-In. It is zombie hunting.
Oh my god. Zombie laser tag at
Zombie
the
laser.
Saco.
What? I was going to get to the laser tag part. I was just
At the
saying.
Saco Drive-In. You suck at promoting. Let me do it.
I do not.
This Saturday at the Saco Drive-In, come on down for some zombie laser tag. The event will start at 11 and it will go on until 3 o'clock. This is a fundraiser for your local independent filmmaker, Killatainment Films.
I suck at promoting, right?
For Frostbite, the film Frostbite. It was better than yours.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No.
I got all the information right.
You're reading it.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Ooh, yow.
Oh, yeah?
You just can't
Who's
admit
starring
that
in
I'm
Frostbite?
I can tell you, I could name the stars for you. I
Okay,
can't.
go right ahead.
There's, let's see, you're in it, and there's Natalie Young, and there's Bill and his son, Ben McLean, and I don't know the other cast members. I'm so sorry. Fail! I'll hang my head in shame now.
So, all of you that have your questions, please hold on to your questions, write them down, and I'll be happy to answer them next week on Ask the Unicorn and The Way of the Unicorn. I will, from time to time, teach you other things. When I go into my, mad divine scientist rant, you have to excuse me because someone asked me about time travel, and she probably did that on purpose, knowing that I couldn't resist at least talking a little bit about time travel. So, you have to excuse those particular moments because I really do enjoy the whole process. So, I could build a time machine, and it really wouldn't look like a time machine. It would look more like a time area.
Yeah.
I could build a time machine.
Is that right? Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that right at Costco's.
So I could build a lot of things if I had the money to build them. It's just that.
What, you actually thought it was a machine that
Yeah.
could travel through time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You're
yeah.
pretty dumb for a smart guy.
No, he said it was backwards. Anyways, Lonnie says, thank you very much for taking the time to answer my questions. Ahura, loving the shows. Good stuff.
Thank you very much. It's good to hear from you. Hope everything is going well with you. Okay.
That's all.
All right then. So I'd like to thank you all for joining me once again, or joining us once again on Ask the Unicorn, The Way of the Unicorn. C3PO says 998. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. And remember what I always say. You probably heard it on Jerry Springer before, but this is a little different from Jerry Springer. You guys try to be good to each other. I know that it's hard from time to time, but at least dig deep and be good to each other. It helps. Find something that you can be good to someone with, you know. Get out and have some fun. Do something fun. There's some good movies actually on Netflix for once. And if you don't like Netflix, try Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is awesome for those of you that like anime. Yeah. So, try Crunchyroll or Netflix or something. See some movies, and then hopefully at some point in time you'll get to see some of our movies. There's another movie that I like to promote as well. It's called How to Kill a Zombie, and that is a movie that is directed by, I think, Bill McLean, right?
You don't even know.
Freight Train.
Yes, Bill.
Films.
Freight Train.
Yeah, that's Bill. And go and support him wherever you see How to Kill a Zombie. Okay? So, once again, until next week, you all have a wonderful week. And by then my braids will be back in. Night night.
Good night.